Hi, friends. This is part two of N.H.S. Doctor Scams the Disabled. And I've said it before, I don't enjoy doing exposés. And I've also said if you scam me, I have a history of rolling over. I've been, scammed out of hundreds of thousands in inheritances and so on. But if you scam my loved ones, I'm coming. And so I'll plow on with this and let's get through this part of the evidence. The other evidence is, as I said, a photograph sent to me by Diane of her bank saying, oh, whoops-a-daisy, can't transfer the money I promised, the bank's shut. And then another document she sent to my loved one as quote unquote evidence that she had transferred some of the money she scammed, and it never arrived, and it looks like a fake document, or if it's not fake, it's definitely been tampered with, as there are no details of the sender. So let's have a look. Here we go. Share screen. The bit that froze up seems to have unfrozen. So we'll go back to there. And as I said before, if it looks like I'm doxing anybody, I'll stop sharing screen. But in the meantime, okay, here we go. This is the large. Let's see if it's still working. So this was where we finished off, and it's frozen again. Isn't that weird? I wonder why. Right. Well, we'll go to the other place. I'll stop share until I find it accurately, because this was working an hour ago and now it's frozen up again. Stop share. And let's go here. Yeah. Yeah, this is laborious, but it is an evidence bundle. Yeah. And it's frozen again. Take that out. See if that works. Oh, yeah, I think it's working. It's a bit slow. Maybe it needs to just come back to life. Come on, please. People laugh about praying over technology, but sometimes it works. There's 3 of N.H.S. doctor scams. Now that's gone to the end, so we'd have to line that up again. I'm going to abandon this or pause it. I could pause it, couldn't I? Here we go. No. All right, we'll go back to this way. So again, it's frozen on the main one, which worked for a while. But anyway, we'll go back to share screen. Why not? Because it's evidence gathering, isn't it? I just had a horrible message from one of my super trolls again. But I prayed about it. And yeah, and let me finish that prayer. Let every demon attached to the wound go to the pit of hell in Jesus' name. May the Lord rebuke you. Right, so we'll carry on here because the other one's not working. So this is where we left off. And then we've got Jamie sent to Renelle. Do you want me to oversee your purchase, your membership, or are you good to go? So I said the money's not loaded, so yes, tomorrow. Help would be appreciated. Okay, is the money on your deposit line? Checked my account earlier, not loaded. Then I say, when you have time, can you help me put the 1,000 in Jamie's account and add my extra 1,000 to mine? Renelle says he has sent it over, but it's not showing. Okay. I was really ill at this time. I was on the nebulizer. So we didn't connect there. Some of this is not You know, as I say, I thought this was a friend of 7 years standing, and I'm now questioning everything about this quote unquote friendship. Microphones and camera disconnected. I said I'm exhausted most of the time, but active a couple of hours a day. Happy to have my brains picked by Jamie. Video chat. I told my American friend about Hyperfund. What Zoom should I share with her for more info? Also 7-year anniversary tomorrow since the Hampstead children were taken. That was 9/11/2014. And then Diane says, do you want the link to tomorrow's meeting? And then she says, there are presentations for the American market at midnight UK time, Tuesdays and Thursdays, also at the weekend. I'll check that out for you. And I ask about blood tests and x-rays because I was really ill. Then she talks about an injury, horsefly bite. Yeah, we used to talk about health a lot. And Jesus, apparently. Then she goes and awaits a rescue dog that she paid to be flown in from Germany. She has no children but 3 dogs. German pointer. I said, Jamie wants to invest another $500. That was actually his fiance, but they wanted to run a joint account. He was texting her now, but had no response. And what is the 2-week pathway? And she says, oh, that's right, a cancer pathway. That's just talking health stuff. And she says, did Jamie get hold of Ronell? I said, yeah, I'm tired. Did Ronell connect with Jamie yet to upgrade? And they called it an upgrade at this time, but this was, I think, one of the first times that the pyramid had collapsed and a new one was started, but they always called it an upgrade or a security. You know, they called it upgrade, and it was really a new company being formed and the previous one being put on the back burner or collapsed. And she talks about her dogs. And she asked me about exhausted. Talks spiritual attacks. And she talks about a very bad reaction to the Pfizer jab. She didn't have the second one, but allegedly got threatened with losing her job as a consultant in a hospital and also doing prison. But she stood her ground and said she wasn't getting the second one because she'd had to have a surgical procedure after her first Pfizer. Let's hope that doesn't get this video. She had exacerbation of autoimmune symptoms from hell. A new autoimmune disease post-vaccination. The doctor's been very supportive and she's awaiting a rheumatology appointment. The polyp was uterine. And I just said totally shocking vaccine fallout. She says, I got a telephone call after the first pressurizing me to go for a second dose. It was a young girl. She asked me what my symptoms had been. I told her that was confidential information to be discussed between myself and my GP, and that it was none of her business. I never heard another thing. So then she says she can't connect. She's going to see her mother. And then we did connect. I said, do you have time later to show me how to apply for the crypto credit card? As folks are saying, it takes 3 months to arrive, or the weekend. And I said, Bitcoin's climbing again. Now there was a WhatsApp group that I'm still in, but when the companies kept changing and people were having difficulty making any withdrawals, Ronald changed the WhatsApp group that only administrators could comment in it, because so many new members were complaining, and righteously so, saying, what the hell is going on? Why have we changed websites again? Why is it changed company name again? Why can't I get a withdrawal done? What the hell is going on? So they simply changed it that you couldn't, your common or Joe couldn't comment in it, which was suspicious in itself. All right, so I talked to her about Shiba Inu. Yeah, and then I talked about my son having a grand mal seizure after the vaccine. He went to hospital for 4 days. They kept him in. They did all the tests. He got out after 4 days. He still had an EEG. Yeah, lots of prayer connections, but nothing much happening with. And then she asked me about Shiba Inu. And talk about the conference. And then she talks about, apparently the post I put up, this is Diane saying this is fake news, allegedly. How are you and how's Jamie? Productivity. Okay. Might have to skip quite a bit of this. A later date I could get this edited. I don't want to attend that meeting with me. So he's talking more about faith. Spoke to my Irish doctor friend who said that I must talk with a solicitor before going to my mum's friends on Sunday. Right, so that's talking about her mother and inheritance issues. This is interesting. She says, I was praying this morning and Jesus, you'll hear her quote Jesus later in this report where she says Jesus told her that the €1,000 she sent me was not to be repaid. It was a gift. Jesus wanted me to have it. She later denied that. But in this message, she says, I was praying this morning and Jesus, capital letters, pointed out to me that the inference that I was a thief predated any memory loss by 11 years. My mother is stealing my good name from me, and that cannot be allowed to happen. That's interesting. Okay. So your mother called you a thief many years ago. Interesting. So I said, oh, as she did before when you moved out. Okay. Wow. That cannot happen. I said, can you ask Ronell how much I need to send him to purchase another $500 in my hyper fund, please? So I went from $1,000 to $2,000 to $2,500. My son went from 1,000 to 2,000. I did ask Ronell. He said he was going to get in touch with you. Did he? I said, no, but I'll get Jamie to text him and add 500 for him as well. And she sends me a link to Kraken, which is apparently similar to Coinbase. Jamie remembered how to put it in. And Diane says I'm in the middle of the devil's shitstorm and laughing my head off. Okay. And she's uncovered a bad person under a rock at work as well. I said, can I send a Zoom link? Because I'm not coping with the new website. Nothing to do with prayer chat, that too. So yeah, so they'd already changed the websites and Diane assured me, oh, that's all right, it happened before and they paid us back for the lost rewards while it was happening. So I say again, this is on the 2nd of December 2021. I can't figure the new website out at all. My recent investment of 500 is in limbo and I can't rebuy normal. When do you think you will hear or learn from Renelle? Because she says, oh, she keeps saying, oh, I'll help you. And then she say, oh, I don't know how to do that. Oh, I'll speak to Renelle. So I said, when do you think you will learn from Renelle? Will Asperger's make it hard? Because Diane says she has Asperger's. Should I get Jamie to request a Zoom with Renelle? Or is there a tuition video? Like, we were trying really hard. I said, Jamie figured his out, so maybe he can show me on Saturday. Financial chaos over here, and the devil is still a liar. Right. Right. And then she says on the 2nd of December, 21, we'll be open tomorrow, meeting at 1 and 2. This is Zoom. She's really getting into this crypto thing. And even this expose I'm doing, other than hurting her pride, she's made so much money from these pyramid schemes. She made, or MLMs, whatever you want to call them. She may not even care because she may feel her money is sufficient in the bank. Even if she loses her reputation or loses her job as a doctor, she's got enough money to go into this stuff full time. Just change her name or something. Probably has a different name already. I've had a complete meltdown at the new site. She's even talking about herself, but getting used to it and managed to do my rebuys today. I can walk you through some of it. So as my mentor, she was not coping. So I said, so I'm not the only one melting down then. And she said, oh no, I didn't know they were changing the visuals. I couldn't actually breathe when I saw the new site. Then a couple of days later, I say, are you around now? Or is it too close to your 1 o'clock? Or no, it was a few hours later. And then she sets another time. And then I say, are you around now? It's 20 to 5. And she says, oh yes, I've just finished my meeting. So I sent a Zoom link, 5's okay. And she says, where's my email? I meant Zoom link. Do you want it to be 5 p.m? You're free of work, rebuys out. So each time she was supposedly mentoring me and my son, she would have to get mentored by Renelle, who got busier and busier, does this stuff full time. It was just a disaster. I said, this is concerning. And then just, sorry, just outright. And then she says, are you and Jamie going to the Hyperverse webinar in 50 minutes? By the way, amazing result. That was on personal level, following our prayer. Now, Renelle asked me in one of our first Zooms that if Jamie and I were going to be passive members or, you know, hustling. And I said, definitely passive. We're both disabled. I've got ADHD and all sorts of other issues, and Jamie's visually impaired. So this is purely an investment. You're not allowed to say investment. You have to say club membership or whatever you want to call it. But they were very keen on not saying investment, probably because it would be regarded as illegal. So, and then she says again, are you going to join us for the Zoom meeting? I was at church. And she said, no, it's platform basics in the new business. And there'll be others. There will be others. So she's realizing she's out of her depth. Having said she would mentor first myself and then my son through this investment, not investment, she then realizes she's in over her head after 2 or 3 company changes, which they just called website changes and upgrades and blah, blah. And now she's saying, go to training videos. So I said, oh, there's other trainings on platforms. Well, that's good. But you don't, when you have ADHD, especially around figures, you don't, you don't respond the same way that people do with training videos. You know, some people can just look at a training video and register it, but with ADHD and other issues, your brain just panics, you know. Okay. Praying together. And then Diane's having issues with work. It's very interesting, that thing about her mother saying she stole or something. I must go back over that when I listen to this video. Very supportive of me. Diane is quite a foe to have. Various nurses and people have tried to come up against her at work, according to her, and she goes for the jugular. That was a good prayer. Have a look and pray over this, please. Renal said he would too. He doesn't, well, I don't know how much of a Christian Renal is. Pray over this for me now. I don't know what that is. Anyway, eating dinner in the cabin, sent a Zoom link. I said, now this, let's go to here. This is the first. So I joined in May, and in December, the 13th, I probably said this to her already on phone calls, Zoom calls, but in writing, I say on the 13th of December, 2021, can we connect later or tomorrow to start my withdrawal, please? Because she had said to me, you know, don't worry about sharing this opportunity with other people until you make a withdrawal, you know, like I did. She says, I withdrew. She says, my total investment was 6,000. I withdrew 14. And then I was completely confident that it was a, you know, reputable company. And then I started telling other people about it. So she says, if you want to do the same, that's fine. So from May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So 7 months later, I want to withdraw my initial outlay of 2,500, you know, and hey presto, it turns out she hasn't told me, with all the pressurizing she did. Oh, you're not doing rebuys, you know, you have the opportunity to do a rebuy. Do you want me to show you how to do a rebuy? She hadn't told me or Jamie in 7 months, 5 for Jamie, you need to stop doing rebuys and build up your rewards if you want to make a withdrawal. Crucial information not disseminated by our so-called mentor. So I say, can we connect so I can start my withdrawal? This is December. And it's just, hi there, sorry I missed this. Came straight home, went to bed, pretty blah, blah. I had a bad fall. I missed the platform training last night, so I'm not 100% sure on how to withdraw from the new platform. We'll chat with R later after day at work. Is that okay? So we're already onto she says new platform. It's a new company. It's got a new name. It's got a new website. It's got new terms and conditions, and she's not trained up in it. So it's the blind leading the blind, except for she made her money, myself and others didn't make a penny. We lost. So she's talking about the fall she had. There's always if I got cross with her, it would always be, oh, you do realize I've got COVID. Oh, you do realize I'm going through hell over here. Oh, you do realize I've had a hell at work. Oh, you do realize I've got COVID again. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, don't ask how I am, will you? It's like, well, I do care how you are, but I'm getting mountingly concerned about this opportunity you brought to my attention. And then again, on the 16th of December, please help me withdraw 5 grand, whether with Ronell or not. And P.S. Yeah. And then she only tells me on the 16th of December, you have to accumulate it on your rewards line first. It's best we have a chat. So I was just absolutely just gobsmacked at that. And so was Jamie. We'd never been told that. We'd been encouraged to keep doing rebuys. Felt like a complete con right back there. Then again, on the 17th, I say, did you find out how to withdraw money yet? And she sent me a Zoom link. Of course, I didn't record the Zooms. I did a couple of them. Right, so again, I'm getting conned because each time, you know, you get groomed back into this over and over. I said if I place my remaining savings into the hyperverse, which had gone from hyperfund to metaverse to hyperverse, now it's hypernation, and live off the generous interest, how long does withdrawal of rewards usually take, and how easy or otherwise is it? Now listen to this. Withdrawal usually takes 48 hours. I've been waiting since March. I tried to withdraw in December, only to discover Diane had not told us to stop doing rebuys and build up the funds we wanted to withdraw. And then she says, I haven't done any withdrawals since we became hyperverse from hyperfund. I said, can you let me know when you figure the new way out, please? And then she sent a virus, which fortunately I didn't open. She said, do you want me to send you some vouchers for beauty treatments? Well, vouchers from the UK don't work in the Republic. I'm going to stop share screen for a while because I don't want to dox the wrong things. Another virus sent there, I think. Sorry about this guy. He said about Sue Helen Oakley, who Diane rescued and took in to stay with her and then threw out 10 days later. And then she got offended with that and said Sue Helen Oakley was a filthy scutter. And she sends photographs, but Sue Helen Oakley had made the same accusation of her. It was a mess. Two dysfunctional people together with animals was not a good thing. Oh, she sent photographs of Sue's house, which was, that was a bit, she went and collected her. This is a fellow survivor who sadly has benzo addiction. She was given benzos for pain or I don't know what, and has tried to get off them, and just like many people can't. But I don't know why Diane would have taken photographs of her house in disarray before rescuing her. She says that was her house. I should have left her there. Oh my goodness. And then she sends me photographs of her house. It was quite brutal. You know, very pretty photos, no doubt. You know, side by side with Sue's house, which was clearly the house of somebody in absolute disarray and despair. But you know, so this, it gets nasty, this stuff. Right. She says Diane admits her dining table is piled high with paperwork, but only needed to be swept into a little bag alive and put into the study upstairs out of the way until after Christmas. And then she's, you know, here's the reality of what my fucking ungrateful mother was facing. I needed the bedroom clearing of clothes, the dining room clearing of papers, help with the food prep, and being left alone to finish my wrapping. How's that a cry? Anyway, there's just Christmas family stuff. And I said I need to do some decluttering. And then she says, as a doctor working full-time 2 years into a pandemic with 3 dogs, and who started a business part-time 12 months ago, which has now turned over $4 million. It's interesting, Diane. Is that yours and Renelle's business? Is that your little chunk of this Ponzi scheme? $4 million? No, yeah, $4 million. I better screen share that just for proof. Oh, I am sharing. Sorry, I am sharing. Oh, well. A doctor who's clinically vulnerable in her own right and good enough to risk her own life all through 2020, and who now risks losing her job because she's done her due diligence and researched whether or not the injection is right for her own clinical needs and decided to decline based on her own findings. It's a pity you wouldn't go public with that as a doctor, like somebody did. Yeah, and then she talks about when Sue was her guest. She says she had the audacity to post on her Facebook things like, it's my intention to leave as soon as possible. This will kill me faster than the rat hole. And hopefully a hostel would provide me with privacy and safety in my bedroom. Wow. There are so many different kinds of hell in England. Wow. And then Diane says, oh, she was no victim of MK Ultra. True victims have a heart for others suffering. Her behavior was her choice. She left rather more quickly than she anticipated. Boundaries by Cloud and Townsend is probably the most empowering book ever written on interpersonal relationships, in my humble opinion. It helps that it's scripturally based. I said I'd like to read that. She says, I hear you. My point is with Sue, like my mother, is that they are all pearl layered round a grain of sand, and they think that everyone owes them preferential treatment because they've suffered. Sue got a first-class degree in women's studies, so she's not unintelligent. She's a brilliant researcher. How come then she stayed in the situation she did as an adult? Oh my God, what a terrible thing to say about a survivor. It's telling that her kids dislike her. Oh my God. I'm not surprised. This is cruel. I don't know if I'm going to stop share just in case some of this I shouldn't show. Sorry about this, guys. Right. Go back to it now. Yeah, then I can just read. That's very cruel what she said about her children. And then Diane says, for the last 11 years, 2021, so since 2010, I've worked with addicts. I understand the GABA receptor action of diazepam in its role as an anxiolytic. I don't judge anyone for making the mistake of self-medicating. Never ever in all of those 11 years have I come across an addict with such blah blah. She goes on. I've done research. I haven't messed with benzos, and thank God I haven't got addicted to drugs, even though post-surgery I was given like Oxycontin and things like that, but thank God they never got me. But I have researched, and benzodiazepines are supposed to be absolutely brutal to come off of. I think Jordan Peterson, I don't like him particularly, but him and his daughter do whole series of podcasts about the difficulties of coming off of benzos. And Diane goes on to say, I've sat with people who've experienced the most horrific torture and whose fear made them defensive, but not one has showed the sense of entitlement that blah blah does. She expected me to take over the prescribing of her diazepam from the GP in Winchester, whom she was defrauding by using a Winchester address when she lived in Southampton. She flew into a rage when I said I would not. Hence the visit from the RSPCA to my home in summer 2019, saying that I was causing immense suffering to Kushla. This got into a right shit show. The RSPCA inspector got bloody short shrift from me that day and backpedaled swiftly when she asked me about the other dog, as Kushla and Maeve gave her such a warm, friendly welcome. I guess that someone had twigged that she wasn't living in Winchester and stopped her script. I would tell you, but it wasn't. Oh, if it had been me, I would tell you, but it wasn't. Probably filling her Winchester script repeatedly in Derbyshire had something to do with alerting the authorities that all was not as it seemed. Oh, God. This is brutal. But in the narcissistic blah blah. Anyway, so Sue called the authorities, RSPCA, on Diane. Diane gave them short shrift. Sue called me later that day and said, I know what you did. Diane says, since I hadn't given her a second thought since I ejected her from my house, I was baffled, to say the least. But it confirmed who had sent the RSPCA. She was a fine one to talk. And then she goes on giving out about Sue's dog minding habit. Oh, this is so unpleasant. And then she's criticizing. She accuses Sue of nearly having the dog strangled to death. This is brutal. She reckons she found the dog nearly strangled on a lead. I'd screamed for her to come upstairs, but she was too busy cramming her repulsive fat face with the enormous pizza she had ordered for herself. Oh, God. Apparently, I have absolutely no business working with people who have been traumatized, according to her. Righto. She probably feels that because I can see straight through her bullshit and she doesn't want to be called on it. Oh my God. So anyway, Diane says it was her fault for acting as rescuer of Sue. And she ignored red flags. And then she says, I really appreciate your fellowship and friendship. And then on, let's see which date, 5th of January this year, I said to her, are you, I'm sorry, I might cut out that stuff about Sue. It's so unkind and unpleasant. I interviewed her extensively, and although, yes, she's very much stuck in victimhood, she admits to having a diazepam habit that she tried to get off. She really has tried. She's just a prisoner to that, but this was so unpleasant. So I asked on the 5th of January, 2022, are you concerned about the hypercrypto situation? She says, I haven't done any exchanges for a while, so I've not had any experience of difficulty. Is that what you were referring to? So then she says, are you okay? And I say, no, but it will wait. I was grieving my mother, I think. Yeah, I was having a breakdown. And then on the 16th of January, I say again, what is going on with Hyperverse? And she says, in what way? Just some people have had some difficulty getting their withdrawals to go through. It will be fixed, but it's taking a while to get round to everyone. Yeah, this was January. It's August now. Some people are getting a bit twitched and they're getting a less than sympathetic hearing from the higher ups. It's getting a bit fraught. How are you? So I say, not so great, nervous breakdown. And I say, I'm suffering from dissociation. And then I just wasn't well enough to talk. Okay. I mean, she thought I was having a heart attack. I said, my heart is hurting. And she thought it was like, I meant physically. Right. I say I'm having a very polite and quiet nervous breakdown. Hypervigilance, loads of pineal gland visionary stuff and flashbacks and total clarity and euphoria, blah, blah. She says, are you sure it's a breakdown, not a breakthrough? I said, I've eaten food and I'm blessed. I could use a friend, but you've got your dogs. And she says, I'm absolutely here for you anytime. That's funny. We've known each other 7 years and you've never been over. You never even wrote to me when I was away for 3 months twice. Didn't even mark my birthday. Never gave me your address. Never gave me your work details. I just wonder if you've been a sent in one all along. She said, I must get a passport, then I will be able to visit. And I said, you don't need a passport to fly to Belfast or get the ferry there. You could bring the dogs on the ferry in your car. And it's a simple way to get here without a passport. So then she kind of led me to believe she might do that, and no, not at all. And she says, I'll bring my baharon. She was just playing with me. She had no intention of coming over. And then she says, fat bird in little sports leggings does mercy dash to ailing friend in foreign country. So I kind of got excited thinking she was actually going to come and visit. She says, stick another spud in the pot. I'm on my way. That was cruel. I said, I've got 3 bedrooms and no dog at the moment, so come on down. And she said, we'll come down. Me and the dogs will have the house. You can have the shed. I think she must have had a few glasses of wine. She had no intention of coming. I said, please message me tomorrow and confirm, because I'm seriously excited about your imminent visit. And I said, are you coming? I think the next day, are you coming, or did we just have a cyber giggle? I'm really struggling. And then she says, oh, hi there, I can't come. GP appointment on Tuesday after another biggish bleed. And it's just, come the 1st of April, I may be unemployed, probably could come then. So I just said, I'll try and stay alive till then. I said, you do know you're a workaholic, right? When did you last have a holiday? She said, I'm not a workaholic. I very rarely exceed my contracted hours. She doesn't like criticism of any sort. I said, when was your last holiday? She says, I had a week off in November 2021. Yeah, she just sat at home. And I said, I'm just talking about my ill health. This too shall pass. Personal stuff. And I'm very clear with her about dissociative identity disorder, which only really flares up when I'm suddenly traumatized. And I talked to her about the different traumas since December. And add into my ill health and personal traumas, high-level whistleblowing and dangerous work. She says, I'll contact you for a proper chat when I get back. Okay, how you doing? Got seen by an ER doc. Well, that's more personal stuff. Quite of the quote of the day. So yeah. And then she talks about having a lip biopsy. Spleen issues, joint pain. And she says, I think I need to live by the sea. She told me she'd made about 90,000 in one transaction on this crypto club And she says, I think I need to live by the sea. I was thinking of Cornwall. She was going to pay cash for a holiday home down there. But then she pulled out of that. So Cornwall. And then I said, we're very overdue a Zoom, as well as a catch up on my hyperverse. And then she talks about lip biopsy. So there was always a health issue. If I tried to press the issue of what the hell is going on with this crypto club, autoimmune disease. So I'm going to work tomorrow. So after all the biopsy and the autoimmune disease scare, not being able to talk, then, well, I'm going to work tomorrow, but we can chat in the evening. And I always felt guilty chatting about the crypto thing when she put in a full day's work with a 70-mile commute each way, you know. We'll talk about the code C19. And then she says, let's have a proper catch up tomorrow. And I said, can we Zoom? And she says, oh, I got home 2 hours ago and fell asleep. Sorry. And then on the 10th of February, I say, I cannot access my hyperfund by the usual link. It says unsafe and does not let me progress. I'm almost broke and really need to access my rewards, as well as the website. Can we please connect urgently, or should I contact Renelle? That was on the 10th of February this year. She says, oh, I'm still at work. So sorry. Can you message Renelle, as it sounds like this needs sorting? Can you send me a screenshot or what it says? I said, just let me know when we can speak. I'm too exhausted and unwell to go down a rabbit hole, and I'm extremely broke. So I'll let you know when I get home. And then she texts me home. And I said, I'm in bed. It's been a long day. Please give me a time in advance. I can take a nap and plan, or else we need to wait till the weekend. But literally all my money savings are gone. I still own my home, my car, and have coal in, Wi-Fi and an office. I'm blessed to be a blessing. So she says, what about tomorrow? I'm working from home. So I said, yes, name a time and we'll do it. Preferably 12 noon on, because I am in pain in the mornings. Yes, noon is good for me. Okay, perfect. She says, send me a message. I say, shoot me a message at 11:45 and I'll set my alarm. So then I send a Zoom link, and then we obviously talked. And then I said, did you mean it when you asked if I was stuck for money a month ago, or were you a few glasses of wine to the wind? And I said, I want to let my rewards build, because that was, we'd only found out in December that it would take months for us to make a withdrawal. And by the time we tried, that pyramid had collapsed. I said, I want to let my rewards build to 2,500 before drawing down. But my money is well and truly spent, and bills doubled since Jamie's moved out. And she says, no, I meant it. So I've said, I'm trying to hold on until I can draw down in about a month. Now, this was February. So yeah, so should have been March by the time I could have drawn down what I'd invested. And I'm still waiting on that. But a new tire and a dental trip has bottomed me out, as well as a regular monthly supporter. Had surgery and her hubby's laid off during the pandemic. So I said, I hate asking. It's been a lovely year, not stressing financially. We should live like that as God's children. So she asks for my GoFundMe and she sends €200. And then she said it's going to take a couple of days to get the money out of Hyperverse to the Who. Who to Kraken is straight away. That's all double Dutch to me, but she was offering to send a lot more, but she just sent €200, which was appreciated. So I said, any news on drawing down those funds we talked about? She says, not yet. Sorry, work's been a nightmare. I left the house at 7 yesterday morning, got back at 9 last night, putting the finishing touches to my appraisal. I can send you something to tide you over. Oh, that's right, because she would do that. She would say, yes, I'll send you whatever. Even though I was saying, I'll pay you back as soon as I get my withdrawal, obviously I'll pay you back. She, oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that. And then she would just go quiet and say she was busy at work or she was ill or whatever. So she sent a couple of hundred. Okay. And she complains about GoFundMe taking a tip, but you just have to untick that box. I said, I'm still incredibly broke. This was on the, and this was not pressuring her to send me money. This was like, I want my bloody withdrawal that you talked about, you know, 10 months previously. This was how she, you know, recruited us, that she had invested 6,000 and drawn out 14, and the rest was just money to play with. And she was making tens of thousands with it. I said, did you do a transfer from Kraken over the weekend? Because she said, oh, I'll withdraw. Should I withdraw some of my rewards? And or whatever, and send you, you know, I think she was going to send me 1,000, whatever. She said I could do it if I had anything on there. So it's all getting messy, you see. All I wanted was to withdraw my own money. And then I said, I thought you told me last week that you could draw down some rewards. She was saying GoFundMe is corrupt. I said they've been very good to me despite multiple attempts by Hoaxstead to take me down. Anyway, I said, you know, my issues are not your problem, but I'm mad as hell because this is not how the children of God are supposed to live. And then Diane says, I'm waiting for my funds to clear the Who. So now her withdrawals were failing. Pluto, right? Everyone was afraid of nuclear war. They talk about Sue's research being brilliant, and research on the Nazis and chemical warfare and stuff was second to none. What was that? Yeah, I said I told my father I'd visit him once a week. I plan on visiting. Yeah. And then I say back then, I will not go to his funeral unless he's confessed and repented. And I didn't. I said we should talk. She said, yes, we should talk. I'm in a teaching at the moment. The chat would be good. And she sort of dropped out of contact. A few days later, she says, how are you doing? I said, I've got another couple of weeks to stumble through financially until I can draw down my original investment and start doing rebuys again. So she said, I sent you a bit more. So she sent another 200 euros. Oh, I said, that's so sweet. And I said, please, please text my real phone number with your real phone number, because I really panic when I lose contact with you. Ah, good. So we've got, I'm glad I'm not screen sharing, but oh, we are going to write this down. This is good. See, sometimes this laborious deep dive shit is worth it. And my pen's in the other room. Right. Now let's write this down. Right. I won't read it out because I'm not in the habit of deliberately doxing people, but it's good to have. Hey, yeah, and landline. Okay. Lots of dead air, but I'm surprised she gave me this information because she was very backwards in coming forwards in terms, you know, when you look at the fact that we were allegedly great friends for 7 years. And I said, thank you so much for the second tide over. I should be able to draw down from my hyper in 2 weeks. This is what I was being told. Of course, it was bollocks. And then I said, life's insane at the moment. So, she says of her mother, apparently I was the last person she wanted to spend Christmas with. Dishonoring her would be repeatedly showing up when she doesn't want me there, despite what she tells everyone else. Okay. Trying to set up a Revolut account. So I said, I have more than my original investment now in rewards accrued. Can you please, now let's get the date on this, 12th of March. But from Christmas, when I said I would like to withdraw, it took me till the 12th of March to accrue. And that's, I said, I've more than my original investment now in rewards accrued. Can you please schedule a time in the next day or two to show me how to withdraw it? And then she replies, oh, yes, of course I'll show you. You need to be registered with a crypto exchange and also with who.com. So I tell her I'm registered with a crypto exchange. And I just, you know, I said, I really need you to help me withdraw my 2,500 maybe tomorrow. And that was the 14th of March. And despite me having to tell her that I'd accrued more than that, she says, has that accumulated on your rewards line? She said, is anyone checking up on you? From the frying pan to the fire. Then she gets me to, I said, this is my rewards today. Can you let me know when we can Zoom, please, Diane? Now that was, I've been asking repeatedly, the 18th of March. She knew shit was up by then. Anytime today or tomorrow. Joe, hi there. Sorry, not very good at the moment. Yes, when would you like to catch up? And I said, name a time. I said 7 p.m. I said, there's a lot of talk about a possible cyber attack worldwide and the dollar losing in value, halving in value. So I would at least like to get my original investment safely out and then just pray about the rest. And then she didn't come to the 7 o'clock Zoom. She knew my money was not going to be got. She's, oh, sorry, I've only just woken up. I think my thyroid's tanked. My face and tongue are swollen, which is always a sign. I haven't eaten today, so I'm just going to do that and then I'll be free. If you want to do tonight or happy to do tomorrow. I said, anyway, so I said, I thought we said 7, but anyway, so I said, take care of you. Yeah, let's reschedule for tomorrow. Then she's I have the fortnight from hell coming up at work. Can we do a bit later than 4? This, looking back, this was, you know, this was jumping around, squirming at this stage. I said, if you're not well enough to help me draw some who down, should I ask Renelle? See how you feel tomorrow. I know what a busy life you both lead. And she says, I'll help you, no worries. Oh, God. And I said, I'll record it so I won't have to learn again. And I can send a copy to Jamie so he can draw some funds down. They were both very cagey. When I had Zooms with Renelle and Diane, they both turned their cameras off as quick as a flash. And they really didn't like it being recorded at all. And then I asked her why she's sick again. She says, I think I've had another duff, a lot of thyroid replacement in my understanding. Who knows? And she talks about, you know, she was probably on generic meds. And she's maybe God's prompting me to find a laboratory that will be able to perform the necessary tests to answer that question. And she talks about her thyroid and ill health. And then she talks about she's fluoride because she says she was a fluoride, anti-fluoride activist. So pray for her. All right. Are you still on for 7 o'clock? Are you feeling better? She says, yes, 7's good. And I send a Zoom. She sends me a picture of a puppy. Then I talk again about the possibility of a cyber crash in April and that I wanted to get my withdrawals done before any such eventuality. Then on the 25th of March, Diane, please help me withdraw some funds from my hyperverse. And then Renelle, I sent Renelle an email. Renelle, this is Angie. I need to urgently withdraw my rewards. And Diane and I been I'm trying to read it. I don't want to make it big in case I lose where I'm at. So I asked him to make time for a Zoom because it wasn't happening. Diane didn't know how to do it. She said she did, but she didn't. They kept changing the website. She's got Asperger's. I've got ADHD. It just was a fucking nightmare. So she said, they knew. So she says to me, after I'd had a Zoom or something, she says, are you all set up on Who now, HOO? And I said, no. Renal texted back and asked if I had rewards, and I said yes. I tried to set up Who with my assistant. But Renal ended up saying, oh, he wouldn't know how to do it. He's not part of the club. So Diane says, you definitely need a Who account. So I said, I'm hoping you and Renal will help me set one up. I tried to set one up with my assistant, who's genius, but he couldn't do it. And then she says, Renal says, don't bind your Who account with Google Authenticator. I wonder why. And she says, yes, we can do that. I said, I don't understand all that. She says, I'll try and set up a Zoom. And I said, please, because I'm getting anxious about it. I'm available anytime, just not much good after 8 p.m. because I wake up very early. And she says, I know Renal's presenting today and I'm out. Let's try for tomorrow. So I said, okay. Tomorrow at 7:30. I said, okay. Then she says, can we change it to 6? So I said, okay. Then she says, I think I've got the Rona. Oh, goodness. I feel really crook. Oh, my God. So then she's going to do the Zoom, but she doesn't want to appear on it. And she's not hardly going to participate because she thinks she's got the Rona. I didn't sleep much because I was getting more and more anxious. I was smelling a rat. So then Renal, I sent a link, but then he likes to do his own. So I said, let's pray for this to go super smooth and fast. So Renal sent a link. And we had a chat. Connection dropped. Then she says on the 29th of March, and God forgive me if she really was ill all these times, but it seems to coincide with the con becoming more and more evident. She says, I'm on my way to the hospital. I'm not well. They ended up discharging her. So I prayed for her. And then she says, I'm not going to take the booster. I've only had the one vaccination. She's saying she loves me. She loves the laughs we have. And then I ask if there's an update. Oh, yes, I'm home. All good. I've got tonsillitis. Starting me on penicillin. And she talked about what lovely treatment she had in hospital. So she's going to binge on Netflix. So it gets put on the back burner again. So again, on the 30th of March, I say, I'm trying to withdraw my funds from my Who, but overwhelming even with my brilliant assistant. When you are well enough and Renal is free, please, let's complete the withdrawal. I think they knew well it wasn't going to complete. She replies, yes, of course. Are you getting better? I say. Oh, she says, I'm still in bed and sleeping 23 hours a day, 22 hours a day. And she said the COVID was confirmed. And then she says, according to the N.H.S app, I'm now over it. I wish somebody had told my body that. And she goes on about the AI. Now it's going to put her out of a job, or put doctors out of a job eventually. Then she says she's back in hospital. I came in about 20 minutes ago. I was coughing up blood. The nurse thinks I might have pneumonia. And then she's home. And then she's no change on the x-ray. Bloods are all normal. Jesus Christ. I said, I've messaged her now, told her I'm down to 50 euros, told him you're very poorly, asked him to schedule a transfer Zoom with me, but I haven't heard back from him. I need to access my rewards. She says, oh, I can help tomorrow. I'm feeling a bit better today, thank you. I just felt guilty for getting increasingly upset. Because every time I did, she would have some terrible ailment. So then on the 5th of April, can you do a Zoom with Renelle in the next 10 minutes? Well, that's a bit short notice. I must have jumped on. And right. So Jesus Christ. And then I say I was freaked out with the failed withdrawal. And as if to make it feel better, Renal showed me all the failed withdrawals on his account, you know, for figures like 127,000 and so on. He's made his money, so's Diane. This is just monopoly money that they were unable to access. And I'm sure they've been able to access them since, or are online too. And it, meanwhile, still raking in from mugs like myself and Jamie, who've had nothing but loss. Trying to empower the non-elite and make them find out. What? She's trying to blame the elites for the... So I said I was freaked out with the failed withdrawal. And she says, yes. They'd sent us this sort of motivational video. And she says, oh, I feel a bit more positive now. I can't imagine what they're up against with the introduction of slavery. We're trying to empower the non-elite and make them financially free. Oh, you hell, you sound like a one world order globalist psyop. Yeah, they'd sent me this. They do this. They're always sharing empowering videos. Oh, God. And then she contacts me and then she's off to bed. Very tired. This is just depressing. Oh, says you could probably do the move to Stoke-on-Trent for some peace and quiet. I wonder if that's where she lives. Rings a bell. And maybe she's just being facetious. Because she comes from originally up Coventry, where I think I'm not very good on geography. Talking about visiting my father. And then on the 15th of April, I say, are you feeling better? Oh, not really. The tonsillitis is coming back. So I said, I'm very depressed. Sorry, you're still sick. Don't go back to work too soon. Because, yeah. I said, I still haven't had my confirmation email, read the hyper thing. She says, okay, I'm on the leadership weekend coming up. What email is this? KYC or an email to say that your account is upgraded. And it's not upgrades. Tell the truth. I said, I'm all at sea. I haven't any email, nor do I know if I am upgraded. I thought Renal had done that, and I'm feeling anxious in case I missed a deadline. And broke because it has been months now. Both Jamie and myself have been trying to withdraw a few quid, both of us disabled. I know it's multiple upgrades, but 4 months of upgrades, yikes. And she says, oh, I'll see Renal on Friday night. So I said, well, hopefully I haven't messed up my nest egg for my funeral. Not the drawdown, but the hopefully long-term bit. And she says, no, I don't think you will have. I say on the 22nd of April, I logged in, but couldn't navigate as the page has changed again. I hope to get an email soon. I'm sorry, people, this is so depressing. It's making me feel ill. Hope to get an email soon, as it must be 2 weeks now. Hope to connect for help, please. I said, is it a weekend workshop in person you're doing or loads of Zoom meetings? And she says, oh, it's in person. I'm on my way there now. She said, can you send me a screenshot of what you're getting when you log in? I said, it's showing no who, no rewards, and I can't navigate just because it's a new website again. No email either since our session with Renelle 2 weeks ago. Really quite broke. I send her screenshots and she goes, oh, click on membership. Sometimes the rewards are added at a later time, but they will be there before 5 p.m. UK time, as that's midnight in HK, Hong Kong. Wow. Check before 5 p.m. If you check after, then the numbers will have reset back to 0. So this is a Chinese thing, is it? Oh my God. I said, I'll wait until you or Renal have time to help. I'm quite anxious about all the changes and verifications, etc., to be honest. She says, yes, I'll contact you when I get home. 25th of April, can you set a time with me to sort out my hyperverse, please? Well, I'm just collecting the dogs. I'll message you when I get back. She messages me, are you there? Are you tired? I don't want to. I said, she says, I'm back now. Now, I said, are you? She's done a weekend workshop, then she's gone to get her dogs. I said, I don't want to ambush you as long as we can get this done this week. She said, can you give me 30 minutes to sort the dogs out? We had an emergency dash to the vet. I'll call in 30 unless it would be better for you to send a Zoom link for 6:30. So I said, of course. 26th of April. Then I share some of the WhatsApp messages. Now I really should make them bigger, but it's other people complaining about the same thing. My withdrawals, can't withdraw, what's going on? So that's around that time. I think it was immediately after that. This was in April. They stopped letting members post in the WhatsApp group. Only the admins could post. The 27th of April, I'll be on track for a 3-way Zoom with Renelle by Friday. And she said, you need to upgrade to 2.0. Do you need help with that? I said, yes, you and I got stuck. Remember, you were going to contact Renelle. And she says, I did. You need to upgrade. I said, you told me not to confirm an upgrade until we could speak with Renelle. She says, your rewards will be safe. I have spoken with him. I said, I have to re-request a withdrawal because the last one is marked failed and the second attempt failed too. Are you free later or in the morning? She said she was saying, oh, I'll send you some GoFundMe money, you know, don't worry about it. So it's all going to be fine. Just be patient. So she didn't send any money. And I was like, you know, and I said, did you send the funds you said you would? She said, oh, no, I didn't. I'm really unwell from a chest infection. I've asked if I can work from home. It all kicked off. I nearly resigned this afternoon. I said, I didn't know you'd gone back to work. I said, praying for God to show you his timing for quitting, because she keeps saying she wants to quit her job, but she never does. She says, sooner than I think it seems. But in between all these illnesses, she'd driven to Cornwall to look at this holiday home, and she'd been on a weekend training course. And then she says, it got me out of the blue on Monday. Yeah, because you were so busy for a few days. She said, I was doing really well since Easter. And then 28th of April, I say, how are you today? Can you squeeze me in to upgrade, or shall I just go ahead, log in and press confirm? Does that mean waiting a couple of days to then attempt withdrawal? My God, this is outrageous. This is just outrageous. So then, having, you know, just fobbed me off really for weeks, she then transferred what I call guilt money. She's transferred 1,000. So I said, wow, do you need me to repay that when my money comes through, meaning my withdrawal? She says, nah, Jesus wanted you to have it. Heart. So I said, praise God. She denied that later. Didn't realize I'd kept, well, I never delete message threads. Now, on the 1st of May this year, I said, thanks again for your beautiful gift. Can we Zoom today to see if I can start withdrawal process again? 1st of May. Don't forget, I asked in December. Originally, I had about 3,000 to withdraw, which came out at 2,900, which Renelle recorded. When I went back in with you, there was a further 930 in rewards, which we transferred to my financial, which should have brought the total to almost 4,000. But when I checked a couple of days ago, it listed financial only at 3,100. I'm so looking forward to getting all this ironed out and believing God for all mislaid or unrecorded rewards to magically reappear, which is what she told me. I said, Jamie's hot on my heels to know what to do as well. I said, I shared our recording with him via Josh to at least put all in financial and upgrade to 2.0. Let me see what date that is so I know to look for that video recording. So the end of April. Video. I'm pretty sure they both switched off their cameras as soon as I said I'd like to record it for my son. Oh, God. And then she says, are you free tomorrow or later tonight? My chest infection is improving, but I've now got a whacking dental abscess. I pray for her. And I say, yes, I'm free whenever suits you. Maybe you could touch base with Ronal about the discrepancy in rewards transferred to financial. He might still have the recording confirming it was originally 2,900 and something to transfer, and I have the recording of the further 930. And as it turned out, the 3,100 that I should have been able to withdraw turned into 1,200, and I couldn't even get that because now you start getting the crypto crash. I think I'll do one more part of this because it's just depressing me. Sent her Zoom, showed her what was going on. Explained why is it dropped, where's it gone? Have I even upgraded? Can we talk today or tomorrow with Ronal? Are you better? Are you back at work? She says, yes, I'm back at work. So I contacted Ronal at the beginning of the week, but haven't heard back as yet. Leave it with me. I said, Ronal has to be busy as heck, but I seriously need to get this withdrawal thing sorted this weekend. If not for myself, at least for my disabled son. He has a baby on the way. He has a right to make a modest withdrawal from a $2,000 club membership. Come on, Ronal. And he replies, I appreciate the issues you're both having. I'm doing my best. Wow. I said, I know you are. I just want it resolved. And then she says, well, let's do it. Let's recap. Here she goes. Here we go. She says, let's do it. Let's recap. I'm back at work. I have a dental abscess. I'm being bullied and harassed at work. My mother's at risk of being rinsed dry by a vile pig with a long jail record and his avaricious and sly new wife. I'll probably have to edit this out, or maybe not. You are now living in the situation that I've occupied since I was 24, where there's nobody else to talk with or rely on, and I really feel for you. My God. This is like Single White Female or something. It's like some weird, bad movie. She says, I sent Josh. It wasn't even Josh. It was my other son. What the hell? The form on WhatsApp weeks ago, having spoken with Ronal. The form hasn't even been opened. So I'm not sure what happened there. I sent enough money to cover your bills for a month because I knew that I wouldn't be able to sort everything immediately. Did you? This afternoon, my systolic blood pressure was at brain hemorrhage level. I feel really pressurized at the moment. I bet you fucking do. Sorry, this is just horrible. She tries to blame Jamie for not emailing her back. I said, I feel bad for my son. I'm very grateful for your help for me. She later said she'd like it repaid, which is fine. Of course I'll repay it when I can withdraw my goddamn funds out of your Ponzi scheme. Fraud. Jamie is not communicating with me, even though I tried to help him. You didn't get his money out, nor Mine. She says all this. I'm sad that I'm back at work and all this chaos is unleashed on my life. What the hell was she? What was that monstrous thing like? Oh, this was my life till I was 24. Nobody to talk to, nobody to help me. What are you trying to project your shit on me? And she sends me messages. Looks like nothing's moving until Monday. I said nothing's worth losing our friendship. Jesus Christ. I try and be compassionate with her. And then on the 9th of May, are you feeling better? Are you back working? Can we schedule with Renal tomorrow or Thursday? She says, should we have a meeting on Wednesday, 6:30? Renal is really busy though, and may not be able to join us, which he wasn't. And Diane wasn't able to do anything because it's a collapsed pyramid. I said, I love doing prayer connects with you and we'll do those anytime. The other thing though is I want to draw down my rewards and showed Jamie to do the same also. Renal has made this his full-time career. Where are Jamie and I on his list of customer service requests? She says, yes, well, we can see if we can get your drawdown working. There was more about the migration of the platform in the week when I spoke with Renal. Migration, you see, they're calling it now. It's been a nightmare, to be honest. We'll phone him and see if he can join us. She says, I'm leaving work now for my 70-mile journey home. Right, I'm going to stop there and just calm down, try and think nice thoughts, because this is just horrific.